Borough Raritan Council Meeting for August 25th, 2015 at 7 p.m. is called to order. This meeting was called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. Notices of this meeting were sent to the Courier News and the Star Ledger on January 6, 2015. In addition, copies of notices were posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, on the Raritan Borough website, and filed in the office of the Borough Clerk. Notices on the bulletin board have remained continuously posted. Proper notice having been given, the Borough Clerk is directed to include this statement in the minutes of this meeting. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Kara.
Here.
Councilman Fooey.
Here.
Councilwoman Gara. Councilman Giraldi.
Here.
Council President LaBelle.
Here.
Councilman Sebelia.
Please stand for the invocation of the flag provided by Councilwoman Kara. As you notice, the Union flag here.
Bow down your heads. Please meet us here today as we act to govern this community, and shall the spirit of respect and communication be ever present in this meeting. Enlighten our minds to know truth, direct our wills to act in good judgment, so that what we do and what we speak will be beneficial to our citizens, government, and most importantly, for the happiness and honor and glory of all. I'd just like to do a moment of silence before we do the flag salute, and that's for former Councilman Frank Fortuna, who passed away on August 18th. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
All right. We have come to the portion of the first public comment for the meeting. In accordance with section 29(1) of the Code of the Borough of Raritan, there shall be a 5-minute time limit per speaker. Please direct all of your questions or comments to the mayor. Impertinent, specious, or personal remarks are inappropriate, and anyone who cannot follow common rules of courtesy or who becomes boisterous may be asked to leave the meeting room. If you are reading from a prepared statement, please provide a written copy and email a copy to the Borough Clerk's office after making your comments. Is there anyone who wishes to be heard during this first portion of public comment? All right, seeing no one, will close the first portion of public comment. We're going on to our Green Acres scoping hearing on the version of Parkland on block 114, lot 1, and block 115, lot 1.
Thank you, Mayor. I have Tom Pacino here from Somerset County Parks to help explain what
We just have a motion to open public hearing.
the situation
Oh,
is.
wait a minute, we need a motion to open the public hearing. I'm sorry.
So moved.
Thank you. Second. Motion made by the council president, second by Mrs. Kara. Roll call, Dan.
Councilwoman Kara.
Yes.
Councilman Fooey.
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Aye.
Action?
Action.
All right, council recalls where we have a grant from NJDOT for reconstruction of Orlando Drive Phase 3. Phase 1 was from Route 206 through to Buskey Lane. Phase 2 went from Buskey Lane to Thompson Street. Phase 3 goes from Thompson Street all the way out to Old York Road. During the survey portion that we did, we discovered that part of Orlando Drive actually is owned by Somerset County. It's been that way for a while. In 1990, Mill Street and Canal Street were joined together as Orlando Drive, and the alignment just took it through county parkland without any compensation back to the county. That land was actually covered with the Green Acres program with the NJDP. In order for us to continue with our project, we must obtain that right-of-way from the county, which is the process thereof. But also, we have to compensate Green Acres for taking of that property, and that's called conversion. So, if the council can see, actually, let me show you another map. This is the alignment, the current alignment of Orlando Drive, where it crosses the Canal Park. Canal Park is the county lease, so it's counted for 3 acres. It also has a portion of Mill Street, which at the time the road was built was 20 foot wide, and a portion of Canal Street. We have to join those together to vacate that portion of Somerset Street to make this work. If you do the calculations, the area involved in the encumbrance and the diversion is 99,000 and change square feet. It's 2.28 acres. Green Acres requires a diversion and compensation if it's paved area of 5-to-1 ratio. But we look at 5 times the paving. In the areas that are green space now, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So if you add everything up, all the land that we have to divert, it comes to 3.76 acres. The borough has a piece of land that's not under 3 acres. If you recall, it's a piece to the south of Lower Mill on Orlando Drive. It's open space now. It's open space now. It's in areas with environmental constraints that can't be built on. Most of it's floodway. Talk to the county would be interested in that as a compensation piece. So what would happen is we would take this land, the county would be given that. It's higher ratio than what's required now. The acreage is 5.6 total acreage, but it would join up nicely with the proposed county green line. The county now owns this piece of property that's next to where the auto dealer was and where United Dye is. And from that, and the county also owns a piece down, further down now. In the next couple of months, we expect to see an application for the development of these 2 pieces. And these 2 pieces, when they come in, are required to have a continuous greenway which will join it. So this is an excellent opportunity to maintain the green space right across the riverfront. And from all we've talked about the riverfront development, this keeps all of that coming. So if the council is in agreement with that, we'll proceed with the paperwork required for Green Acres. And Green Acres said after the scoping period, they would give us a letter of intent that we're proceeding. And that would help us with DFT and with the county. I would expect we would have something similar with the county. My goal is to have Orlando Drive Phase 3 into construction this year, so we don't have any situation. Anything they open up?
No, that's it. That's it. This property is becoming much more important because, as many of you may know, we're in the process of designing and hopefully going into construction this year our next segment of bikeway, which actually does terminate at the driving range. So it'll come from 206 along the river up to this point. So this will allow us to then continue physically the bikeway further west until we meet up with our existing greenway to the west. So
Stan, what sort of time frame was on this?
What's that, sir?
Time frame?
Time frame, I'd like to have Orlando Drive into construction this year. There's going to be paperwork required. There's going to be quite a bit of survey deed work that's going to be required. We hope that works consecutively with our final design project. We'll be able to proceed with bidding and construction by that paperwork is moving forward. I have to add one more thing too that doesn't involve Green Acres, but it does involve Duke Farms. Duke Farms owns a portion of Orlando Drive. They own a portion of Thompson Street. They own a portion of Canal Street. Back in the 90s when that was realigned, those issues must have been done. We've been talking to Duke Farms. Michael Catane has been speaking with his foundation, and I believe we're going to find them vacating that portion of the land too. The center area, the center green area that's a park now may go back to the county. I don't know what the deposition of that's going to be. But in 1990, when Orlando Drive was aligned, it didn't take into account who owned the properties, and we're involved with that now. So once that's cleared up, we'll have a complete right of way on Orlando Drive.
Presently, there is a sort of a makeshift soccer field there on that portion of land. Is that going to be able to remain there because it's really used especially on the weekends.
Sure, I think that we can work to program the property however
Okay, that's good.
is best, sure.
Is there anyone in the audience that has any questions for either Mr. Schreck or Mr. Bacino concerning this particular piece of land and the swap? Any other questions from council?
It looks good, very exciting.
Thank you.
Then thank you very much. All right, then do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved, Mayor.
Motion made by Mr. Fili,
Thank you.
second by Mrs. Kara. Thank you very much. Roll call.
Councilwoman Kara?
Yes.
Councilman Fooey?
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi?
Yes.
Council President LaBelle?
Aye.
All right, moving right along, we have a number of minutes that we need to approve. The first one set is the July 28th, 2015 regular meeting minutes. Excuse me.
Was that something we needed to vote on?
I don't believe it was.
No?
No.
Okay.
But we're giving him authorization to go ahead with the paperwork, is what Paul,
Yeah.
I think, is,
Agreed to that, right?
Right.
we did, I
We
think.
did? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, moving right along, the July 28th regular meeting minutes. I have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Mrs. Kara,
Second.
second by Mr. Fili. Any additions or corrections? All right, roll call please, Dan.
Councilwoman Kara?
Yes.
Councilman Fooey?
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi?
Yes.
Council President LaBelle?
Aye.
This next set are the July 28th, 2015 executive session minutes.
Make a motion.
Motion made by Mr. Giraldi,
Second.
second by Council President. Any additions or corrections? Roll call.
Councilwoman Kara?
Yes.
Councilman Fooey?
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi?
Yes.
Council President LaBelle?
Aye.
The next set are the August 11th, 2015 agenda workshop meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Mrs. Kara,
Second it.
second by Mr. Giraldi. Any additions or corrections? Roll call.
Councilwoman Kara?
Yes.
Councilman Fooey?
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi?
Yes.
Council President LaBelle?
Abstain?
The next set are the August 11th executive session 1 meeting. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by
Second.
Mrs. Kara, second by Mr. Giraldi. Any additions or corrections? Roll call.
Councilwoman Kara?
Yes.
Councilman Fooey?
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi?
Yes.
Council President LaBelle?
Abstain?
And the last set are the August 11th, 2015 executive session 2 meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Mrs. Kara,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Giraldi. Any additions or corrections? Roll call.
Councilwoman Kara?
Yes.
Councilman Fooey?
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi?
Yes.
Council President LaBelle?
Abstain?
All right, the next set of items on our agenda are ordinances. We have, once again, ordinance 2015-09 that is currently tabled. I think we're going to leave it.
Yes, I have been away and I haven't had a chance to talk to some of the parties that would be affected, and I would like a chance to do that.
All right. And Chief, you have
And
given us your opinions about what needs to stay in the ordinance and what needs to be taken out.
Yes, ma'am.
Do I have to take a motion to table that?
It's continuous.
Oh,
It's
okay.
continued.
Oh, it's continuous.
It's continued. Matter of fact, there was a piece on the 6 o'clock news tonight about a woman in, I believe it was North Brunswick, who was found, the pawn dealer where she tried to pawn this jewelry that she stole, was able to use the law and alert the police to it, so it's a good thing.
Where was this?
North Brunswick. All right, we have now ordinance number 2015-12, which is an ordinance of the Borough of Raritan, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 207, Land Use and Development, Section 61, subdivisions of the Code of the Borough of Raritan to change the minimum radius of turnarounds at the terminus of dead-end or cul-de-sac streets from 50 feet to 45 feet. This is a first reading, and I'd like someone to make a motion to introduce this.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Mrs. Kara,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Giraldi. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Kara?
Yes.
Councilman Fooey?
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi?
Yes.
Council President LaBelle?
Aye.
And the second reading will be held on September 22nd? Because you forgot to put that in, yes.
Can we ask questions on this at this point? I never know when we can ask questions on a first or second reading.
I would, no, we're introducing it, you can ask questions on the second reading.
Correct, Mayor, September 22nd will be the public hearing.
Okay, September the 22nd will be the public hearing held here in the council chambers, all right. All right, now we have a number of resolutions. The first one is Resolution 2015-08-98, a resolution of concurrence supporting the use of a no passing zone on New Jersey Route 28 in the borough of Raritan, Somerset County, New Jersey. This is something that's done every year, and DOT asks us to simply give them our okay on it. It's been there forever. So do I have someone who would like to move this?
I'll make a motion on that.
Motion made by the council president,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Giraldi. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Karen,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi,
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Aye.
The next resolution is 2015-08-99, elevator subcode inspections and services. To Building Inspections Underwriters Incorporated of Feasterville, Pennsylvania for the elevator, and EIC Inspection Agency Corporation of Jersey City also for the elevator. And all of the information is attached. Is there someone who would like to make this motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Giraldi, second by Mr. Fooey. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Karen,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi,
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Aye.
The next resolution is 2015-08-100, renewal of a 2015-2016 plenary retail consumption license.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Kara, second by the council president. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Karen,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi,
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Aye.
The next resolution is 2015-08-101, a resolution authorizing the refund of redemption monies to an outside lien holder in the amount of $17,100.
Make that.
I'm sorry, excuse me, the amount of $9,159.22 plus the premium of $17,100.
Make that motion.
Motion made by Council President,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Giraldi. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Karen,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi,
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Aye.
The next resolution is 2015-8-102, monthly railroad parking refunds. One in the amount of, there are three of them, one in the amount of $40, another one in the amount of $40, and the last one in the amount of $160.
Make a motion.
Motion made by Mr. Giraldi,
Second.
second by the council president. Roll call.
Councilwoman Karen,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi,
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Aye.
The next resolution is 2015-08-103, taxi cab vehicle taxi cab driver license for Amazonas Taxi at 716 US Highway 202 South in Bridgewater. And all of the license and permitting applications and background checks have been completed by the police department, and all of the liability insurance certificates are included.
Make that motion.
Motion made by Mr.
Second it.
Council President, second by Mr. Giraldi. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Karen,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi,
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Aye.
All right, the next thing that takes care of all of our resolutions, the next thing that we have on the agenda is the bills list. And be it resolved that claims in the amount of $2,189,983.78, having been listed on the bill list for the period July 27, 2015 through August 21, 2015, and recorded in the files of the Borough Hall, are hereby approved to be paid. Is there someone that would like to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Mrs. Kara,
Second.
second by the council president. Any questions or concerns about things, items on the bill list? Roll call, please, dear.
Councilwoman Karen,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Aye.
All right, now we have two purchase orders. One is from the Recreation Department, and it's the amount of $2,030 for the 2015 participation for the therapeutic recreation at North Branch Park, which is a wonderful, wonderful program for children who have learning problems and physical problems, and they're out there with horses and riding, and it's a great activity. So if someone would like to make that motion?
I'll make that motion. Second, Mayor.
All right, roll call please. A motion made by the council president, second by Mr. Fooey. Roll call please.
Councilwoman Karen.
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Council President LaBelle.
Aye.
All right, moving right along, Mr. Attorney, it's good to see you.
Yes, I
Traffic
apologize for
was-
you.
Traffic was bad today.
I apologize.
All right, we've come to committee.
You only charge us half the meeting, though.
Right. We're almost through with the meeting. Committee and liaison reports, council president, we'll start with you.
I was away for the last week or so, so I did not make my recreation meeting and/or my EDC meeting, but I do have a DPW summary. DPW for July is continued with garbage pickups on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and that's 2 trucks with 6 men. They continued with bulk, and that's another 2 or 3 trucks, 3 men on each truck. They continued with blacktop repair, maintenance and repair of machines and trucks at the DPW area. Pothole repair work, daily cleaning of train station, cleaning of catch basins, painting of lines, chipping, preparing baseball fields, dragging and lining the fields. Picked up TVs for seniors. They continue always to cut grass and weed whack, pick up garbage in the parks, clean the bathrooms in the pool houses, street sweeping, and got all pickup ready for the auction at the county. Some interesting tonnage numbers. I have the June numbers. June 1st through June 3rd was 46 tons. June 8th through the 12th, 55 tons. June 15th through the 17th, 50.07 tons. June 22nd through the 24th, 50.07 tons. That's a total of 201 tons for June. And then, actually also the 29th through the 1st was 51 tons. July 6th through the 10th, 53. 7/13 through 7/15, 47. 7/20 through 7/22, 47. And 7/27 through 7/29, 54.95 tons. So they have it broken down here by month, and it's interesting. From the beginning of the year, we started at a monthly total of 140 tons in January, and now in July we're up to 255 tons a month. Well, I don't know why we're making so much more garbage. Probably weather, outdoors, things like that. Yeah. And year to date, we've done 163.62 tons of bulk. And that's the end of my report, Mayor.
Board of Health does not meet in July and August, but I do have stats from the Office of Vital Statistics for the month of July that they collected in fees. 3 marriage license at $9, 12 marriage certified copies at $139, 88 death certificate copies at $498, for a total of $646. Raritan Borough Municipal Court collected $26,956 for the month of July. $12,574.57 went to the borough. And under food and beverage, for the month of July, we collected $1,471. That's all I have, Mayor.
No historic this month. As-long meetings are now weekly. Nothing new in meetings except for the fact that the Marine Corps Band will not be here for the concert. It'll be the same band as last year. Other than that, everything is pretty much the same.
Mayor, Police Department report for July, there were 204 motor vehicle stops, 120 moving summons were issued, a total of 896 general calls, and 58 first aid calls. And I know because I made one of them for my mother, and I'm always happy to see how fast the response time is of our police department. As you know, when you dial 911, it's always the Raritan Police that show up first. And the response time has always been very, very good. All right, the schools, John F. Kennedy School will be hosting an open house on Tuesday, September 8th from 2 to 3 p.m. At this time, parents will be able to meet your child's teacher and tour the school. All Bridgewater Raritan schools will reopen for a full day on Wednesday, September 9th. And recently, Newsweek magazine did a study of schools, high schools throughout the country. And our school, Bridgewater Raritan High School, ranked number 26th in New Jersey and number 118 in the USA. Now, 118 doesn't sound like a lot, it doesn't sound high, but you consider in this survey, they looked at 26,000 high schools. So ranking at number 118 in the country puts it in the top 1/2 of 1%, which is excellent. It goes to show that they've maintained a quality of standards at the high school for many, many years, going back to when I was there in 1970. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. I have a couple of things. First of all, we received this letter from, she's referred to as my evil twin sister sometimes, freeholder Pat Walsh, because the two of us are constantly being mistaken for each other. Dear Joanne, on behalf of the Somerset County Board of Chosen Freeholders, I want to once again thank you and your staff for hosting a BOVO Fridays bin in your location. The Buy One, Bring One program provides much needed donations to support the food bank network of Somerset County. Through county residents and municipal and county employees' generosity, we have collected more than 23 tons of donations since the program launched in July 2010. As we celebrate the 5th anniversary of this very successful program, I want to thank everyone who has contributed. The Food Bank Network and its clients are grateful for your continuing support. We are so blessed in Somerset County to have all of you who care, share, and give. Thank you from my heart. Sincerely, Pat Walsh, Freeholder Deputy Director. And the bin is downstairs, and it is continuously filled. We have so many people who just come in off the street, and Maggie can attest to that. It's her office is right there, and just overflowing. So thank you very much for the Freeholder Board. I'd also like to recognize Pastor Ronald Jones, who for many years was our closing act, if you would, at our reorganization meetings. He has been leaving, he is leaving on September the 11th for his retirement, and there was a dinner for him last Sunday at Suriano's in Bridgewater, where we presented him with a proclamation. And he was very, very, very thankful for it, and said he will miss all of us and he'll miss coming here. And I know that we all, he used to come in, he's an amazing man, he used to come in without anything prepared, and he always came up with something that was right on target and right on point for the reorganization. And now proudly, as Jim was talking about high school, the latest issue of New Jersey Monthly comes out. I don't know whether any of you get it at home. They rated the top 100 towns in New Jersey. And last year, we were 98. This year, we're 33. We're 37.
Yay.
Greenbrook Township is the only municipality in Somerset County that is ahead of us. Somerville isn't even listed. Manville's not listed. So we're 37. Watchung is 43. Bridgewater is 57, then Bernards is 63, then all the way down to 89, which is Hillsborough, and that's it. So I'm very, very, very proud of this, that New Jersey Monthly has rated us as number 33 out of the best 100 towns in New Jersey. And they take into consideration property tax changes, and ours went down by 2 points since 2012. They take into consideration violent crime rates, the ASK test, the HESPA test, effective property tax rates, the average property tax, the population, and so forth. So we thank New Jersey Monthly for giving us the progress. Very good. I also want to bring up two things. We passed a resolution about taxi cab and taxi cab driver's licenses. I think council really needs to address the Uber taxis, because the chief does an extensive background check, or his detectives do an extensive background check on the drivers. A Uber driver, we have no idea who they are, where they've been, if they have a criminal record or anything of that nature, so I think that needs to be addressed. And the other thing that also needs to be addressed that Mr. Schreck and I were discussing are the pod storage boxes. Do you notice they're portable ones? We had some problems with someone over on Southwick Street had one that was blocking the right of way for the sidewalks to go through. So I think those are two things that we need to work on.
I
Mr.
think the
Chairman.
Uber issue is actually, there's pending legislation that was introduced in the Assembly.
In the assembly, all right.
I don't think we need to put any money into
So
that. I think we
We'll
wait
on
and
that.
see what's
Wait on
coming
that,
down
see
the
what's
pipe.
coming. Okay, old business. Dan, status of property maintenance office move.
Yes, I just wanted to bring the council up to date. I've spoken to the property maintenance official and the construction official. So the way we're gonna handle it, the construction official is talking about maybe 7 fireproof safes, but Maggie and I have talked, and this even goes to the past clerk, and some past clerks where we've gotten rid of a lot of records. We may go into imaging, now that we've gotten rid of a lot of records. So the construction official is saying the purchase of 2 fireproof safes would be sufficient. We've gotten 2 prices. The cheapest is $999.99 per file. We can order those and then clear out the files that are presently there, what was formerly called the Basilone room, and then clean it up, paint it. And the only question I would have is, were you envisioning the property maintenance official? Because I remember when we were talking about maybe this secretary to that office possibly going down. Just to clarify, what were you?
Is there enough room?
Well, I don't think of both. I'm not suggesting both. I'm asking, do you?
Well, actually, the secretary is more for the code official, and
Right.
So you're satisfied with the property maintenance official?
I think he needs,
Okay.
I think he needs to be in the building, and he needs to be there in that spot because it's
Okay.
visible, and it's hard to send people over when they're trying to find him over at the firehouse in the back, and if he's not there, and we would have problems with people parking in the fire truck zone, so.
The only advantage that I bring it up is, sometimes he works closely with fire prevention for certain inspections. But what I'll,
Well, fire prevention isn't here all the time either. so.
right.
it's a phone call away.
What I'll do is if it's over to the council, I'll order it, I'll get Public Works to remove the files, we'll clean it up, and we'll get them moved.
Do we have a time frame on this? Because I think we brought this up 3 meetings
We
back,
did.
which is now 6 weeks to make a move from the firehouse to the borough hall. I mean,
Well, it could be done soon.
I thought soon would have been done in the last 6 weeks. It's a simple move. What's taking
The
so long?
files that are there are part of the problem.
But the files were there 6 weeks ago when we
Yeah.
had this discussion, and I thought we agreed that we were gonna get somebody over. Mayor, am I wrong, or?
No, you're
That was
absolutely
the
right.
conversation.
You're absolutely right.
It's taken too long to move a
Truth
couple
be told,
people.
Paul, this goes back maybe 2 years,
Yeah, we can't.
because the property code person did not want to move, and,
Well, I can understand that and why, but they should be over here, and
They
it
should be
shouldn't
over
take
here,
2
that's
months to
right.
move 2 blocks.
That's right.
What files need to be stored? The ones over at the firehouse?
The ones that are in that room have to be moved out, and then cleaned, the room cleaned, and then.
And those are property
files-
maintenance?
No.
No, they're planning board.
They're planning board files. That's why we have to get some, because they're bursting.
Okay. All
Where are you
right.
gonna put the new safes?
Safes,
Well, the fire,
Like, they just look like regular fire cabinets.
yeah, but where are you gonna put those?
they'll have to be at the firehouse.
So, do we have a time frame?
Do it
A
very
month?
soon.
A
Yes,
month?
yes.
So that by the time we're sitting here on September 22nd, it will be done?
I would say yes.
Okay. You're on camera now, you're on,
Can I just ask one
go
question?
right ahead.
For old business, did we get any status update on that light on the corner of Anderson and Somerset?
No, I I've written to public service,
I have one old business. Whatever happened to the fire truck? Didn't we-
Well,
didn't
the
we talk
fire
about
chief, the
approving-
fire chief said that, with fighting that fire and visit with Ocean, the Department of Health has pushed him back in terms of what his schedule is. That's what that's what.
Well, we
just
talked to
posted.
him and we approved the purchase of a new fire truck at the beginning of the year. Pretty close, right?
Yes.
It's now.
But they got,
The year is
what
almost
really
up.
helped them, what really
I thought
helped
they
them
were
up
excited
was-
to get a new fire truck.
They are, and they're
Well, when are they
disappointed,
waiting
but
for?
they were bound by the need to prepare for the OSHA review and get prepared and up to speed on that. And that's what took all the officers' time away from looking for another truck, but they're back on it. I actually talked to them a week or so ago, and they're
So is there a
refocusing
time
now.
frame on a new fire truck? Because we talked about this a long time ago.
They need, they're working on it.
Okay.
I would think they want it as soon as
Want as
possible,
much as we
so.
do, yeah.
All right.
All right, the new business is not very good news. We had a Board of Trustees meeting last Thursday night for the Raritan Public Library, and I'm disappointed that Ron isn't here. There was a major problem with the HVAC system over there, and it completely shut down, burned out, is gone. So the Board of Trustees is actually approved the $6,500 to replace the HVAC system in there. We approved the bills on Thursday night, so that's been taken care of. The other problem that has been uncovered because of this, and I'm not quite sure how it came about, but Ron had a piece of wire that was about yay long, and it was completely charred because they've had some electrical sparking down in the basement. And county came out to look at it. Bruce, you were there, jump in if I misspeak on anything. The county came out to look at it and actually refused to, and it was Carl Memoli, actually refused to open the box, the electric box, because once he opened it, it was in such bad, apparently it was in such bad condition. I guess he could tell by the wires that were coming out of it. Is that what you picked up too?
Yeah, but he did say it was okay to operate it.
It's okay to
Yeah,
operate it.
He walked a fine line, as I
Right.
think we're trying to get the
Right.
point across, but
Right.
he said operate for an indefinite period of time.
Provided that the box wasn't open. Once they open it, apparently code tells them they have to shut the building down. They didn't want to do that. So we are looking at, since it's our building, we are looking at replacing the electrical panel in the library, and I don't know what else goes along with that. Whether it's simply the panel, and they're not going to know that until they get into it. Whether it's simply the panel that has to be replaced, or whether it's all of the wiring within the remainder of the building. That is the big unknown, and that is going to be our,
And what kind of money do you have?
we're looking at least $5,000, at least, possibly more. And we won't know until they actually go in and open the box and look. So I'm just letting everybody know, and as I said, this is our building, and they did pay for the new heating and cooling system in the building. So this is our dime that it's on.
It's a safety issue, it
It's
needs
a
to be
safety
addressed.
issue, absolutely, it's a safety issue.
We need
Absolutely.
to get on that right away.
Absolutely. So, I will speak to Mr. Scully about that as soon as I can. Okay, we come to the second, any other new business, by the way, before we talk? We come to the second portion of public comment, anyone wishing to be heard? Seeing no one, we'll close the second portion of public comment. Our next Borough Council meeting will be here on September the 8th at an executive session at 6:30. Agenda workshop meeting at 7 p.m. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Gill, second by Mr. Phil, we are adjourned.